Welcome to Comfort Habit number 2. Since it is the spooky season, you will always understand that true scary stories are way better than fiction. Alright, so I told this story before, and I haven't been able to get any help about this. Not that I need it now, because I'm grown, but I need to ask you guys if you've ever heard of the Witch Ryder. Alright? Now, I'm not trying to invite this bitch back into my house. Or am I? Because I'm going to prove that it exists before I die. Or when I die, I'm going to prove that it exists because I'm going to hunt it into the end of time. Alright? So, when I was but a boy, between the ages of 6 and 7, we're going to go with 7 because I remember it mostly attacking me when I was 7 until I was like 15. So, between 7 to 14 or 7 to 15. I hadn't turned 15 yet, so some 7 to 14. I had a lot going on. Between street fighting this thing attacking me in my sleep, it is best explained that everything you're about to hear is not fiction. It is complete real. I lived it, I experienced it, and I would never ever wish this on anybody. And no, it is not fucking sleep paralysis. I don't want anybody on here who has a scientific mind coming to tell me that, oh no, that's sleep paralysis. In case you guys don't understand how paralysis works, paralysis means you're not moving, ever. So if you get sleep or blood paralysis, you're probably gonna die. Alright? So I had this uncle, we'll leave his name off, and I didn't believe in these things, and I picked on him about it. This would eventually be the same uncle that picked on me about missing a kung fu class and some other stuff. So, he was married at the time to his 3 children's mom. And we lived down the street from Mr. Skippy's house. Mr. Skippy has passed, so I can put his name in. God bless you, Mr. Skippy. Mr. Skippy used to always give us candy. He's a great old man. Anyway, so, sorry, freaky commercial line. I think it's like the Hilton or the Hyatt or some shit. I don't know. It's a freaky commercial. Anyway, so it is the Hilton. Anyway, my foot's itching. I don't know why my foot's itching. My foot doesn't itch this bad. Oh God, I hope I'm not getting an athlete's foot because that's something I've never had before. Anyway, so I laughed at my uncle because he was a grown ass man, and this thing, he was telling how he kept trying to reach for his wife, but he couldn't move, and she was sleeping right beside him. He said he was screaming at the top of his lungs, and no matter how hard he screamed, she couldn't hear him. Now, as a person who's part native, there are other magical entities that I'm still learning about, but this has nothing to do with that. As a person who is black, I think this thing mostly only comes after black people or people of color, because I haven't talked to anybody who's not black and asked them if they've ever heard of this shit. Now, a lot of people say because of the native blood, people who are part native can dream walk or pick up a dream where they left off. That is slightly true because I have been able to do that. Not the dream walking part, but pick up a dream where I left off. And I know you're thinking, well, what the fuck is the relevance of that, Echo? Well, here's the relevance. The relevance is really quite simple. This thing started attacking me the night after I made it. You can't see it. It comes in the pitch blackness, and it sits on your chest and chokes the fuck out you. If you sleep on your side, it can get you. It has got me. It has literally got on my back and choked the shit out of me from the back. So that shit wasn't cool. And this thing has been happening off and on since I was 7 years old. Almost every week, no matter where I went, when I went to sleep, this motherfucker was on me. And I talked to people, and they tried to tell me ways to combat it, and none of the ways that they combated it worked. So fast forwarding until the year I was going to turn 15. It was the last summer at my father's house in Smithfield, because he was moving out of Smithfield and moving to Richmond with my stepmother and gonna go find new jobs and shit like that. So, because my stepsister lived in Richmond with her husband, and they just decided, hey, fuck it, let's pack up and move. And that's pretty much what they did. So, the night before, because a couple of weeks before my dad told me that it got him, and I continued to laugh at him because a grown-ass man sitting with the light on. So here's the thing. It can get you with the light on, too. Because it got me with the light on. Yeah. So, prior to getting me with the light on, it got me with the lights off. It got me for sleep on my side. It got me for sleep on my stomach. It didn't matter which side, or if I was on my back or my stomach. If that motherfucker wanted me, it was going to get me. And it did. No matter whose house I was at, that motherfucker got me. I remember these attacks. Trust me. You will not forget them when you can't fucking breathe and you can scream at the top of your lungs and the only person that can hear you is you. So I guess this bitch got a dampening feel because no one else can hear you scream, even the person laying right beside you. Now, it's never gotten me when I slept beside people, but it's always gotten me while I was alone and always while I was asleep. So moving back to where this attack comes to an end. The last time that it attacked me, I was at my dad's house. The night before, when it was going to attack me, I watched two shows. I watched Magnum P.I. and I watched Lethal Weapon. I do not remember which one, but it was the one about the toilet blowing up. So we watched Lethal Weapon first, and the dude said, I'm going to count to 3, and snatched the guy off the toilet, and the toilet blew up. And then Magnum P.I., he made a shark disappear by counting to 3. So I took that as that's going to be my thing. So it's like 5 something in the morning. It hasn't gotten me yet, which was cool. So my dad lived in this old house. Got up. I got to let him out of the house. So we lock all the back doors. Go to the front. I let him out the house. I hook the screen door. I lock the big doors. Got like 6 locks. So I got to lock all these locks plus turn a key to get the thing to work. So did all that. And my dad was old school, so all of our windows were covered in plastic because it was summertime. He had air conditioning. His air conditioner stayed on in his room, and he air conditioned the whole fucking house. So we weren't allowed to have any other doors open in the house. So I laid the fuck back down, 6 o'clock. My dad leaves at 5:30 after he gets all his shit ready to go, and he's gone. And so I go back and lay in the bed. I remember that I laughed at my father. Like, literally laughed at my father. And then I was laying on my side. I'm laying on my left side, so he's sitting on my whole body. And I'm getting choked. And I'm like, and my head's under the cover, so I'm like, okay, Dad. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. Then it dawned on me. I locked my dad out the fucking house at fucking 5:45. All the doors on the back porch is locked. All the doors on the front porch is locked because it also has a hook on the front door. Not the inside door, but the storm door. And you can't get that bitch off unless you're like Gambit and you can like have a deck of cards and slide up that bitch. But see, here's the thing. My dad only had one key and he left it with me so that I could leave the house freely and go where I want. I'm thinking my dad's choking me. So I'm bartering with him. I'm sorry, Dad, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh at you, I'm sorry. It's not my dad. And the choking is getting tighter and tighter. And I was like, oh, this is that fucking thing. But they told me it couldn't get me with the lights on. Because I slept with the lights on. Because when my dad woke me up, he cut the light on. I never cut that bitch off. When I locked him out, I went right back to fuck to sleep. So, it's pushing down on my neck. And I can feel my body being set on. And then Magnum P.I. and Lethal Weapon dawned on me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to count to 3. And you coming the fuck up off me. And just like Lethal Weapon and Magnum P.I., more Lethal Weapon than Magnum P.I., I said 1 and 3. And we're tuffling in the cover. So me and this damn thing, we're under the cover. I had it. I don't know what body part of it I had, but I had it. And that's when I found out that it can be touched. Most people don't understand this shit. You aren't supposed to be able to touch spirits at all. And I touched this motherfucker. But by the time I got out of the cover, it was gone. And we were both in this big fucking sheet. I couldn't see it. I know it was there. I was ruffling with this motherfucker and we were tussling all in the cover. And you know when you're little, covers are pretty big. I haven't gotten much bigger, so I'm still 5 foot something or another. And I was maybe like 4'10" at that time. Maybe 5 feet even. I'm ruffling under this bitch, and the whole damn bed was tore up when I finally got from under the cover. But I touched it. So then, after everything settled, I'm looking under the bed, I'm running through the house calling my dad. And then I look back, the doors are still locked. So y'all know my ass. Click, 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 click. Got my bicycle, got off the porch. I went back and locked all the doors and put the padlock on. Left the key in the padlock. Got off the porch and rode to my Ruth's house. Now, my dad came home for lunch. He called my Ruth. He said, "Jimmy, where you at? I told you not to go nowhere today." And I told him, "Something in the fucking house." I said, "What?" I said, "Don't go in the fucking house. Something's in the house." He said, "I'm already in the house. There's nothing in the house." I was like, "Well, that thing that got you at nighttime, it got me. I don't think it's coming back, though." It never came back. It hasn't been back. And I've been hunting that damn thing ever since. Because I found out something that I could do, that it didn't know I could do, and I didn't know I could do. I could touch it. So if I can touch it, I can catch it. And so a lot of my spirituality came from that realization that I can touch this motherfucker. Which is probably why it hasn't come back. Because the last thing I said before I got out of the house was, I touched you. If I can touch you, I can catch you. And now I'm going to hunt you the way you hunted me. It ain't been back. I'm still waiting on it. I'm still expecting it to show up at some point at some time. And I will keep y'all posted, but I'm pretty sure it probably won't. But that one specific one probably knows that I'm looking for it. And this isn't some bullshit from Supernatural, the TV show. This is some shit that really happened to me since I was 7 years old, since I was 15. So you guys, your homework is to go do research on the Witch Ryder. See how many people know about it. See if anybody else has similar experiences, because nobody believes me and nobody has had an experience with this thing except for like family members. So like I said, I'm going to hunt this thing down. I'm going to catch it. I have to catch it. I owe that motherfucker 7 years. That being said, I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Come Forever #2. And if anybody out there knows anything about the Witch Ryder, reach out to me. Make a video. Send it to me here so we can talk. Find me on TikTok. Find me on Facebook. Find me on Instagram. Find me somewhere. I'm going to show y'all my TikTok profile. So, it'll have me with this fan doing martial arts. But it will also have me where it says create. See that Spider-Man being choked by the Kingpin? My Instagram has the same thing under my government name of James Williams Jr. So if you have an experience with the Witch Ryder or anything like that, please contact me. Somehow, some way. We gotta stop this motherfucker. We gotta find it, we gotta stop it, we gotta prove that it exists. That being said, I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. Thank you for watching.